to save my mental capacities for things that are more important to me in life, right? Making a dollar here or there is not that more important in life, but um, creating value through putting my knowledge out there of the things that I've learned is where I'm trying to go when it comes to creating the life that I want. I want to create value for as many people as possible, and I want to make a living doing it. So, in order to do that, I cannot focus all my thoughts, mindset, energies, right, and emotions into a job. So I took the job at lowest hanging fruit. Well, that is like a philosophy of when it talks about success comes from luck. Luck is the lowest hanging fruit, and it is so easy to cling to for the possibility that your life can depend on luck, right? It is so easy to cling to that um, that you must learn how to avoid it at all costs because the opposite of hard work is no work, right? Um, and and I am not talking about just hard work. I'm talking about hard work physically. I'm talking about hard work mentally. I'm talking about hard work emotionally, guys, and I'm talking about hard work intellectually. And so, when it comes to hard work, you have to have all of those aspects in place if you're going to succeed. And when you are firing on all cylinders, all four cylinders of that aspect, what happens is it becomes very, very emotionally draining, and it draws from you because when you're trying to start a business, you're not starting a business in a bubble, right? You guys are not doing this in a bubble. So if you're not doing this in a bubble, guess what that means? If you're my age in your 50s, that means you probably have a family. You probably have a wife. You probably have tons of other responsibilities, and everybody is looking at you like, why now? Why are you starting this now? Why do you want to start a business now? Why do you want to write a book now? Why do you want to start a podcast now? Right? Why do you want to give all this value now? And they do not understand, guys, that it is inside of me. It is inside of you, right? To give more. And if you allow it to be released and let go, you can get out there and create the life that you want despite the fact that everybody else around you wants you to dedicate your time, energy, and emotions to their problem. There he goes. I said it, guys. I said it. I'm in all types of trouble, right? Most people don't care about your problems. Most people care about their own problems. And that includes family, guys. That includes your wife. That includes your children. That includes your relatives. That includes everybody around you. People want you to help them solve their problems. And they think, right? They think that once they solve their own problems, they will be more willing to help other people with their problems. That never happens. Okay? I witnessed that firsthand in my life, and my mentor yanked me completely out of that group of people who were thinking with that type of mentality, that help me first so I can help you mentality. That is a horrible, horrible way to live your life, you know. And so, in saying this, I tell people all the time, and especially you guys who are listening to me on my podcast, is that if you want your wife or your husband to be different or act that way, it is not going to happen through you telling them, right? Through you telling them, it's not going to happen through you telling them. What happens is osmosis, guys. So the more you act in that form of responsibility of I'm going to give value first, and if it comes to me in some other form from someone else, then so be it. You know, basing your belief on the law of reciprocity, then then your family will slowly but surely catch on to the vibration that you're giving off, right? And it won't be immediate, guys. It won't be immediate. So, in saying that, that means is your vibration has to be so strong that it sounds off like the sounds of those cicadas over there in the trees, right? You see how one, then two, then three, then 100, right? Start to start to sound off when one and two are sounding off. That is how it goes, guys. That is how your vibration of who you are going to become begins to permeate throughout your entire family, throughout your entire circle. But it has to be so strong that it sets a pattern interrupt in everybody else's life. That's what it's got to be, guys. You have to interrupt everybody's train of thought with the power of how you are acting so that they understand, right, that this is the direction that they need to take on in order to create the life that they want. Because they see you taking that direction and creating the life you want for your family, right? Not for yourself, not being selfish, but for your family. And that is powerful. That is how you begin to move on and create the life that you want for you and your family. So that is one of those steps, guys. That is one of those steps that I needed to take when it came to defeating the mindset of success comes from luck. Um, I now put in an all-out effort, and I don't expect anything from that effort, right? I am putting on an effort that my mentor tells me, and I trust it 100%, and I just put my head down and I begin to work for it, right? I begin to work for whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve, and you guys know right now I'm trying to be an author of more books than I could possibly name, right? I currently have 3, and I'm trying to be a speaker and a motivator and a coach, right? And a mentor to as many people as possible. So as I learn to build all of that up, okay, I have to literally put my head down. And if it takes me putting my head down for the next 30 years, then that is what it's going to take. And so you guys have to be willing to do that. The progress may not be immediate. The progress may be slow because this is something new that you guys are learning, man. I mean, unless you've done this for the last 28 years, then it's something new. You know, for me, at the end of my career, law enforcement became so easy to me. So easy, it was second nature. I would watch people with 10, 15 years and freak out over situations that that I would just say, hey, listen, it hasn't changed in 100 years, and this situation will turn out the exact same way that it has been turning out in the last 100 years. Okay, the people and the players are different, but the situation is the same. And so my mentor kind of taught me the same thing when it came to building a business, right? He taught me that you need to tap into the proper resources, okay, of people who are going to help you to uh, learn some new skills. You know, my mentor told me, he said, my first mentor told me, he said, I don't have those skills. I have the skills of law enforcement, right? I have the skills of law enforcement. What you need to do now is you need to unplug to this from this system that you're currently in and plug into a new system with some powerful mentors, right? And fortunately for you, you are a lot stronger than you were when you began 28 years ago. 28 years ago, my mentor had to pull me out of the circle of influence that I was in. 28 years later, I stepped right out of that circle of influence that I'm in and into the circle of influence that I would like so that I can create the life that I want. And that is the difference in growth, guys. I don't have the added knowledge. I don't have extra knowledge, right? I just have the extra will to say, hey, these people that I'm around do not know what I am trying to do, so I now need to move myself from this group of people